So with this meeting, we're gonna go over a whole bunch of things. Okay, so progression that we've been doing. So we were able to get and one guys. Yeah, all right. So that's where we're going. We want to make sure that this is still. We had a yeah. We're that with the rules.
Alrighty. First and foremost, I apologize if you hear any residual phone noise or my married roommates arguing. That's not part of the presentation. But can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yep. When I have my headset on, I kind of have it around my neck and my mic is malleable, so I just move it up. But let's see here. Bring out my notes. Alright, so basically what I'm going to do, these rules are actually on the website. So obviously everyone here should have already made an account on the forums, and if not, I'm sure Mike or any one of the officers will provide that URL for you as I'm talking. And you can either read them there, or I'm going to briefly kind of cover. I'm not going to read them verbatim, like full on exactly as they are. I'm going to explain them if they seem pretty off. But just like Mike put it out there, generally want to create an atmosphere where whatever venue you play this game as, regarding raiding or role-playing PvP, or just simply killing time and leveling alts all day, you generally want to be friendly. You don't have to make friends. It is the internet. You don't have to like everybody, but we at least have to come together as a guild. That's why we're in a guild, a collective group of people that play this game, you know. But we have a more structured way of saying, hey, be a nice person, do what you're supposed to do, come prepared, etc. So generally, as I go down here, it says access to the guild bank is a privilege. You know, being in a guild, you have perks, obviously. So naturally, contribution to that helps greatly. It also lets people know that, hey, you're a part of something better than or bigger than just yourself. Please respect that by taking what you need when you need it. If you require something in a tab that you cannot access, feel free to contact any available officer and they may get it for you. Now sometimes a lot of us may not be all online at the same time. Generally, the access to the guild bank increases as you go up in rank, which I'll touch on at a later time. Officers hold a higher sense of responsibility technically, so as such, they must also hold a tighter understanding of respect amongst fellow officers. So that goes into play with us officers. It's across the board, whether you're an officer or not. It doesn't really matter. We all gotta play nice, essentially. When hosting or participating in events, whether it be any of those genres, raiding, role-playing, PvP, you know, any of the events that Sarah Lynn's gonna go over, always take heed to rules, as well as understand that we are all ambassadors to salvation, and we must not tarnish its reputation. So I was not here when the guild was created, but I believe the guild's 7 years old, Mike? 8?
It's about to hit 7 in just a couple weeks.
Okay, so 7-year-old guild, it takes a lot coming from a background where I didn't guild lead, but I raid leaded for 3 years, and I kind of got a feel for how it was when my guild leader was gone for 2 of those years. And it takes a lot to keep a raiding guild up, especially keeping high tenure members together to make it a fun experience when you play this game for so long. So, we're out there in trade chat, general chat, Baron's chat, whatever chat or exposure that us as Salvation has to the rest of the server. We want to make sure that we kind of don't make us look like a bunch of scrubs. And by that I mean, just kind of don't put yourself out there and, feed too many trolls or become a troll yourself. But whatever the case may be, you're part of something bigger, so you just got to take heed to that. As well as remaining a good ambassador to the guild outside of the game, like social media or other forums, so to speak. So I know Cenarian Circle has a forum or has a page on Facebook, so that sort of business. And constructive criticism is nice to have so long as it is constructive, hence constructive criticism. That goes for anything in game. It's pretty self-explanatory. In terms of raiding, in our raid setting, respect the other members who are with you. Without them, without the cohesion within the group, we wouldn't be where we're at. So keep personal vendettas at bay. So it goes back to what I was saying about, we all come together to play this game. We don't necessarily have to like each other if certain things come up, but at the same time, you want to be able to experience that aspect of the game if you are raiding. You just show up, do your job, whatever you got to do, have fun, however you have fun in the game, and go on with your day. It's that simple. Wipes will happen. We all want to see bosses go down. What we don't want are constant Debbie Downers, little nannies who won't at least look for possible changes to what they can do to help better ensure a win. So this is also pretty self-explanatory, especially with the new expansion. We're definitely going to wipe a fuck ton on Foundry and High Mall and even the world bosses, I expect. But, nobody really likes to wipe because that means we don't get loot. So adding it in, pressing your press the talk key or something, and mumble and going, oh fuck, or damn it, or whatever, cursing on top of your lungs doesn't really help the situation. That's also a given. And then a kind of a semi-elitist, but not so much. I mean, when we're in a raid setting with the item levels that come into play, you generally want to know your class, inside and out. Sometimes the very least you can do is know your class, know your abilities, your cooldowns, whatever, leading into a raid setting. Now, as we go along through the raid, obviously you might find out things you didn't know because you hadn't experienced the raid, but time is of the essence. We do allocate 3 hours to a raid on raid night, but that also doesn't mean that we have to backtrack and make sure that each individual, we have to put our trust in all of us to know our class. Alright, so going into role playing, I personally myself don't role play a lot. So if there's anything, I know there are role players in the guild. If there's anything that you would like to, or have any inquiries about any sort of rule settings you would like to put in, feel free to let me know. Sarah Lynn, thanks to Rylas, anyone. And as long as it makes its way to one of us, we can add it in. But for this, I have, it relates to being an ambassador. You always respect those that are role playing. I don't know if you guys have had this experience, but there's been countless times going through my time in Cenarian Circle where I've come across role players, and they've kind of involved me in it, where they just, they target me and do like emotes and stuff. I just emote back, or I at least don't, troll them and blow it up in their face. Or
can I just chip in on this quickly? Because I am a role player. I mean, I don't do it on Cenarian Circle anymore, but generally speaking, the thing most role players tend to be annoyed about is when people just come in and start fucking around in front of them while they're clearly role playing in character. I mean, you'll get some people that'll be like anal about it. You'll just come up and you're just questing and you just happen to run into them, and they'll treat it like some sort of personal attack, but you just ignore those people because they're just really salty. But in general, just treat them with respect, or just ignore them, and they'll be happy to return the favor. That's about it.
With being an ambassador, you're not going to go in and just massively troll people that have nothing to do with you. Just be on your merry way. Even if you did intend or did not intend to be involved, it is an RP server, so it's pretty much inevitable. Rolling into player versus player, I know. Has the new season started yet, or is that yet
No.
to come up? Okay, so the new season is yet to come up. So, once that comes into play, you may see a higher activity of people PvPing in terms of, involving other guild members. So basically, in any event that's organized, generally you want to try to make it so that you open the doors to guild members. Now, obviously, with certain high competitive PvP, you're not just going to take just anybody. But as a rule of thumb, with anything that involves guild members, you want to try and involve other guild members. It's as simple as that. So you want to be able to include as many as possible, as you see fit. And then trolls, of course, in any given thing, trolls will be in plentiful supply. So try not to give in to their provocations and provocations, whether it's trade chat or PvP. You generally want to go in with well, I won't say a cool head, because PvP brings out the monsters in all of us. I can say that for a fact. But generally, those are the overlaying rules, you can say. I hate to use the word rules because it's not like a fucking schoolhouse. Sorry, a schoolhouse, but
guidelines.
Generally, yes, something to guide you along the way being a part of this guild. The guild that Mike and his followers and his officers from 7 years ago put together. So, it's a general rule of thumb. Realize that you're in this guild, and as such, just behave. That's really it. It's really easy. And let me go over a little bit of moving into the ranking system. Did you want me to go into that, Mike, or go at it at a later time?
No, go ahead.
So as you probably noticed, the rankings: pagan, disciple, priest, bishop, cardinal, architect. Architect being, Mike himself. Cardinals being the officers, myself, Sarah Lynn, Tanksta. And you guys are probably wondering, how do I rank up? How do I show myself as a higher rank? Some people actually really take a strong elitist mindset to this. Whether you do or not, brief explanation to these is obviously pagan, low rank. That's the newbies. Pretty much you haven't signed up like on the website or on the forums. Maybe you've been hacked recently. Something that's been tarnished on your account as of late, if not a new member. People generally don't stay in this rank very long if they're semi-active. Moving on up to the next rank, disciple. These are individuals who either were just recently pagan, just recently joined the guild. They don't have an authenticator. This is key because obviously, without an authenticator, the game forces the inability to promote you past disciple for obvious security reasons. You don't want to have certain accesses to the guild bank, have your account be hacked, and then everything we worked hard for, gold, mats in the guild bank, get shot out the window. So it's imperative that if you want to rank up past disciple, get yourself an authenticator. I think they're $8 if you buy the keychain and the free phone app if you have a smartphone. So generally keep that in mind. Next, priest. These are members who have moved up from disciple. They are level 90 to 100 given this expansion, but are not relatively geared for the current content. So for now, since the raids are not out, generally you want to be gearing with all this heroic gear, heroic warforged gear, any epic crafting. If you plan on raiding, obviously we would like to require anywhere between, I think generally right now people are easily hitting 630 plus in terms of prepping for raiding. I know some people are 640 and beyond given the crafting abilities out there. So just make sure, in order to consistently move up in rank in terms of raiding, past priest, which is the next rank, is bishop. Bishop now are those raiders geared at current content. So we're talking 635, 640, maybe pushing that. That's like before December 2nd, which is a week away when the raids do get released. But generally, this bishop title, you really got to work towards, obviously. When it comes to gearing, not even just the gearing, just having a relatively active environment with the guild. And then above and beyond is, much more political, but in terms of pagan to bishop, that's the basic rundown for those ranks. And I'll kick it over to who do you want next going? Mike?
Me. So yeah,
Alright,
like what he's saying is the bishop rank. Now we want you guys to be 640. Now it's pretty tough for people to reach right now, but once Raid Finder and also the easier difficulties of Highmaul come out, this should be an achievable item level. We want to push it higher than we've ever done it before, not just like our minimum of what we would consider for Highmaul. Just because you're not bishop rank does not mean you're not going to go to Highmaul. Things like that. It's just we're putting a limit on how many people we're bringing into it, and every patch, just like the last expansion, every patch that requirement is gonna jump up with however high the gear content is. Okay, so that's all it is. We will just want to make sure that those who have been with us, have been working towards their gear, all that stuff, get there. And you also need to be here, be here for a while. So some random Joe Schmo that joins the guild, super gear, signs up on the website, they're just gonna stay at Disciple for a while. We have to wait, fill them out. There is a specific amount of time that we try to aim for. I'm not gonna share that with everybody, but just know that it's a decent amount of time. We get a good look at them, and then we move them up to ranked priest or bishop or wherever needed. If they have an authenticator. So once again, the authenticator, very important. Free for iPhone, iPod Touch, iPad, all the Google Play devices, all that stuff. So for the physical one, if you don't have a smartphone, that's something that everyone here should be able to afford. You're paying $15 a month for this game. Just save up a little bit more, get it eventually. That way you can just move up ahead, get more access to the guild bank. The lower ranks, they can't even see past like the first 3. Let alone be able to help out with converting mats into other types of material. So doing that is a very big thing of what we're going to be doing throughout the entire expansion. It's converting things is to make sure that we're doing a little bit better with regards to what we're able to provide to the guild, instead of just people doing all sorts of stuff on their own. And to go more into detail with that, I'm gonna pass it over to Tanksta.
Ah, shit. Wasn't
Good
prepared.
stuff. Good stuff.
Alright. Shit. Alright, so if you guys haven't been looking at the guild bank lately, I've been trying to fix up the tabs a little bit. Just to slightly update them a little bit. Some have been cleared of all Miss Pandaria items. So just so you know that if you happen to go to Miss Pandaria on your alt, and if you want to put anything in the guild bank per se, just stick it in the first tab. Anything of that sort, even from previous expansions, do that as well now. So now you have these different guild tabs where hopefully we can still get them sorted out as soon as we can. That way people can start putting things into their appropriate tabs. Other than that, we still would like people to contribute as much as possible to the guild bank whenever they can with their buildings of the garrisons. Even if you have alts and those alts don't have, what am I using all these ores for? Blackrock ore. I don't need Blackrock ore. Donate them to the guild bank. There's probably other people that have no use for them, such as blacksmiths, fuel crafters, for dailies and whatnot, making items, necks, things like that. So please, guys, do whatever you can to contribute as much as possible. We don't obligate you to, but it would be nice for you to have a generous heart as well to help everybody out in the guild. As far as the raids go, from what I'm seeing on the sign up, seeing all these people on and the different types of classes we have, we are truly melee heavy, and that's going to be quite an issue going forward. I mean, it could be done with melee heavy people, but it would be nice to see a couple more ranged and a few more healers added into the mix, since we're very low on healers. from what you see right now, how the groups are set up, Group 8 is our healers. That's it. That's all the healers we got. And then you have Group 4 and 6 as our range DPS, and you can see there's a lot of shamans.
What about Gallianor? Where's he gone?
Gallianor is going to be leaving us 2 years, so he's pretty much out of the picture.
Okay. Carry on.
So we don't have, so we don't have a paladin healer. So if anyone here would like to step up to the plate and be a paladin healer for us, there is your opportunity. Also, we have a lot of shamans, you can see. So if you shamans decide to switch a class for whatever reason, cool. If not, I think we can accommodate you.
I'm planning on it.
But as far as from what I can see, we can use another mage, per se, so long as I can have someone to play with. Oh, seriously.
What? What do you want me to do?
Don't say it like that.
Evocating.
You need another evocation buddy, that's what we're saying.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, we don't want you to be the only mage. Who's
coming in as secondary mage?
Apparently Armadar likes to evocate by himself in private.
Hell yeah, well, or in front of you guys. I don't want the second person stealing the show.
Moving on.
Who's
Moving
secondary
on.
mage? I just want to know.
Nobody. Moving on.
Alright, good.
Nobody.
See, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Also, we don't have no Shadow Priest, as you can see, nor Boomkin, so there's other classes that you guys may want to explore if you want to take the chance to do so. As far as the melee goes, I mean, there is a ton of melees, you can see from 3 and 5. A lot of warriors, as you can see. So, we will try our very best. I know Mike, being the raider, he will try his very best to, accommodate everybody as much as possible. If you don't see yourself being inside a raid for a week, don't feel like we don't need you. We do need you. So don't feel like you have to they don't need me no more, I'm gonna quit, or I'm just gonna be, peace out, quit life, whatever. No, we need you very much. We would like to see everybody be online those 3 days that we have to raid, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So that way, in case someone happens to not show up, at least you did show up, and then we can use you and help us down these bosses and, continue our journey through Draenor. Let's see. I don't know. Anything else I missed, Mike? I don't know.
Raid time.
Raid times?
Yeah, what are the raid times?
Well, the raid times will stay the same. I don't think we have discussed any changes. We've been exploring possibilities of raiding 2 days, but I don't think we've decided on that at all. But I think we're going to stick with the 3 days, which is 2 days, Thursdays and Mondays. 6:15 server to 9:15 server seems like the sweet spot for everybody. So hopefully all of you can attend those 3 days and take shit down together.
Right. Yeah, and so the thing is, to prepare for these types of raids and everything, I see a lot of people running a lot of content and all that stuff, and it's super awesome. Keep in mind that the guild bank no longer gets all the money from quests and looting stuff like we used to, so we're going to be a little bit more strapped for cash than we were. We rely on people completing the weekly guild challenges, so make sure that when you're doing dungeons and challenge modes and PvP or rated battlegrounds, whatever, try to do it in a guild group. For the 5-man, you just need 3 minimum, and try your best to include as many people in the guild as possible. We've been seeing some people that haven't exactly been as inclusive as we would like. It's really easy. Just after every dungeon is done and you're gonna go to the next one, does anyone want to join us? Just say it in guild chat. I mean, it's very easy to get caught up and just chain run things with your friends, but try to see if there are any other guildies that would like to join you, just to make sure that we keep things going, everyone feels included, and it doesn't give off the idea that we have cliques or a crew and all that stuff. We are one guild. We're Salvation, and we should be able to play with each other. I mean, I know I'll go out there and I'll just say who wants to do whatever, and I just take anybody who responds, because it should not matter. It doesn't matter, and it should not matter. So just keep that in mind. And then if you get too many people for the group, and like a 6th person wants to go, oh sorry, I'll let you know, in case a spot opens up, things like that. Just make sure that you're doing things like that, because once again, there have been some guildies that have expressed some concerns over some recent behavior that's like that. So we don't exactly approve of it. Just it's cool that you want to run stuff together. Just make sure that you're not doing it in a way that it makes it look like you're excluding people. All right. And we've had issues like that before in the past, and we definitely squashed them. So hopefully with this, that same thing can happen here. And in order to better facilitate people trying to play together or be a lot more okay with each other's presence and all that stuff, and not just stick to themselves, branch out, meet new people, meet new guildies, talk with everybody like that. We have a whole bunch of events that we're going to be doing all throughout the year, and we want to make sure that everyone attends them, because when you go to only raids, or let's say you don't even go to raids, and this is the only time that you're able to interact with a lot of your guildies through meetings or mass events like this, you kind of maybe get, I don't know, like a certain perception of individuals and stuff like that, and they might not exactly be that way all the time. There are people that would only go to raids and only hear how I am in raids, and then think like, oh man, this guy, he's so tough on people, whatever, he must be like that all the time, which is absolutely not true. You need to go and just try to do things with people outside of that same type of environment, and you never know, you might end up hitting it off with somebody else. So I'm gonna have Saralyn let us know about some of the events that we have, and yeah, go ahead.
Right. Hi, guys. So
I know.
Hey.
all right. So
Sounds like an
we've.
Alcoholics Anonymous meeting
Oh
up in here.
God. Well, I am. It is me talking. So, so you guys, some of you have been to some of the events we've done over the past year. Whether it's been the Tournament of Tiny Champions or the recent Halloween costume contest, but essentially, I want to let you know about some of the upcoming events that we do have in December, on December 17th to be exact, at, let's see here, 8 o'clock server time. We will be having our White Murloc gift-giving exchange. And so what I need you to know about that is that you do need to show up with some kind of gift. We will provide the wrapping paper, but it can be anything you want. It can be something amazing and really hard to get and rare. You definitely do not have to do that. You can give a rock that you found on the ground as well. We have had in the past, last year, a wide variety of different gifts that were exchanged. Get creative, have fun with it. A lot of them were pretty amusing to see, and some of them were really fun. Some of them were useful, some of them were not. So. But it was a really good time for everyone to get together and celebrate as a guild before the holiday season totally kicks off, and we all have to abandon the game for a few days to go do Christmas or, any other holiday that you may celebrate in the month of December. So please try your best to attend. They're really fun. I personally have a lot of fun at all of these. We also have in January, we're going to have a World PvP event. Woo! So, I know, yay! Something we haven't done before. It's something that, those of you who like to PvP, awesome. Those of you who haven't done it a whole lot, this is not one of those, oh my god, we have to go win everything and take all the loots, which you can't really in PvP. But I envision it to be something where we choose a couple of destinations to completely take over those areas. Please stop doing that. Mom and Shadow. Thank you. Seriously, stop. Thanks.
Sorry. Okay, I'm done. Had my fun.
Yeah, I don't need to be hit in the face with a soccer ball, but thank you. Anyway, especially while I'm trying to talk. My envisionment is that we can also run around all the Alliance capitals, get everyone their bear mounts if they don't already have them, but at the same time just have fun Killing Alliance, wherever it is we may decide to do, and we can kind of take a poll on where, or get some ideas from everyone else where we might think that that is the most fun to do. There's also Ashran, so we can certainly try and do some events there as a guild as well. But just know that we'll flesh that out a little bit more as it goes along, especially as we head further into the expansion and kind of see what options we have available. But that is scheduled for January 21st. So I will get that up on the website, and that will most likely also be at 8 o'clock server time. So keep that in mind. And then we will likely be having a PvP tournament for guild members, so our own duel battles in February, sometime around the Love is in the Air event. So get that in your head. Try and make some time to attend. As Mike kind of alluded to, it's a really great chance for everyone to have some time not raiding, taking a moment to get to know your guildmates outside of those raids, outside of, oh, well, so-and-so's just a tank and so-and-so's just a healer and blah, blah, blah. All right. So any questions, comments, concerns? Yes, no, maybe. So actually, never mind. Save that till later because I'm going to keep talking. All right.
You tease.
I know, right? It's great. Next up on that as well is social media. So please don't forget that we have a Facebook page. We have a Twitter account. We do have a Google Plus account that no one looks at, but that's cool.
What's Google Plus?
I don't even know. We also have a YouTube channel, and for those of you who don't know, we do stream all of our raids. Thank you, Mike, because I can't copy and paste right at the moment. So please, if you have not liked our Facebook page, please go do that. We generally have, almost daily posts. It kind of just depends on the level of information that's going out around either the guild or around World of Warcraft at the moment. But we do try and keep everyone in the loop that way, and also encourage any, social interaction or things that you want to post on the guild website as well. So please do that. And a lot of the posts also are tweeted to Twitter as well. So if you prefer Twitter instead, you can interact that way also. But I really highly encourage everyone to take advantage of that. It's, if you can't log in that day or you got some other stuff to do, you can totally hit up your Facebook page really quick and make sure you're not missing out on any news for the guild or for World of Warcraft at the moment. Mike is giving all those links in the raid chat if you haven't taken a look at those. The Twitch channel is during our raids, and we also have, we've streamed some other events as well in the past. So, and also, even if you don't embrace social media, like you're against Facebook or any of the other stuff, you can still read some of that stuff on our website as well, the Twitter stream, at least you can. So you don't have to go to twitter.com if you don't want to, but you can go to our salvationcc.guildlaunch.com site and see some of those as well. So, and also the website, speaking of, does generally have the major news posts, so not maybe the day-to-day stuff that you might see with our Facebook page and Twitter, but it'll have major events like our guild meeting, like our Mythic Garrosh kill, like any events that are up and coming. So take advantage of all those things. And basically at the end of the day too, I don't even want to hear from any of you that you don't know about what's going on, because there are about 9 gazillion things and ways that you can do that. So
well,
I know.
what's going on?
Oh my God. So there's so many things. And for those of you who don't know, I manage the Facebook page mostly, except for when Mike helps me make corrections because I'm a noob, and the Twitter account as well. So if you have any thoughts or ideas, God dang it, Caldrino. If you have any thoughts or ideas about social media in general, anything that we can do, post, anything you want to contribute, I would be so happy to work with you on that. If there's like a weekly blog you want to do or something, anything to interact with those things, I highly encourage and would love to work with everyone on. So, all right. Outside of that, I have one last thing. So it is about that time of year. No, I have 2 last things. So hold on. So not about that time of year. We're going to retract a little bit. I forgot one thing. So with the guild website, it has not, if some of you have been to it recently, has not changed to a Warlords of Draenor theme yet. So it's still got Garrosh background on our guild logo. I would
you
love
put spikes on it.
No. So I would love if everyone could submit thoughts or ideas or themes or a photo or anything to help bring in the next guild website theme. And I think we discussed about possibly having a prize for this as well. So,
connected.
and I don't know what Mike's thinking, but we're trying to make sure we change it up per expansion. So it would be really awesome. No, not Blood Elf Lady Booty, but that's a nice thought, whoever just sent me that. For those of you who haven't seen the new Blood Elf models, there you go. But
Badass, though.
Squats been paying off.
Yeah, it just works out.
I know.
Just put that on there.
No, but so I mean, there's ones I've considered for the Warlords of Draenor, but I thought it would be more exciting if you guys actually contributed rather than having me just come up with whatever and slapping it up there. What does Warlords of Draenor mean to you? What do you think that this expansion is about? It can be a WoW picture. I highly encourage it to be a WoW picture of some sort. Certainly, revolving around Warlords of Draenor. But give me your thoughts, give me your ideas. You can send them to me in-game. I would really appreciate it, and I will post very shortly about a deadline for this as well. So I will be posting to the Guild website and to our Facebook and Twitter pages, so please make sure that you check those. Last, so I don't talk for forever, we do have that time of year where we are going to ask or /beg for some money. So I know it sounds awesome, but guys, the Mumble does not come for free. Our guild website does not come for free. A lot of things that contribute to events that happen in this guild don't happen for free. So we do ask, and we have a PayPal account that's linked on our guild website. If you can donate even $1, $5, anything. We ask for these donations quarterly so that we kind of can gather enough money as we have yearly bills that come up for some of these things, like our Mumble account. Many of you last year will remember, and I'm sure in years past, although I haven't been around for longer than almost, I guess, a year and a half. But I haven't been around longer than that for those things. But Mumble is Mike. What's the total on Mumble? I'm trying to remember.
The cost?
Yeah. The annual expense.
Like 100, I think.
Yeah. So that's when we say like $1, $5, it adds up quickly, and then that cost is taken care of. So you guys are already paying $15 for this game a month. I understand that. If you can find it in your heart somewhere to donate even that $5. If you want to donate more than that, awesome. If you don't, whatever. Your name does get, put into the lists of infamy and contributors. So if you have never noticed it before when you join Mumble, that is usually listed there if we have any contributors for that month, although in November we haven't. So, but yeah, I'm going to be making posts about that as well on our social media sites with links to the PayPal account. So please, kind of keep that in mind if you're making budgets for your upcoming expenses for the next month or so. It would be awesome. I think that's about it.
Yeah. So, we pretty much hit on all the points here that should be kind of covered. There are
disconnected.
But just make sure once again that you know the rules. Don't especially not to each other. Help out with the bank. We're going to be needing a lot more. So it's going to be tough because you want to hold on to your own stuff from your other garrison building. But whatever you can spare, please, we need. For instance, Flask. We went over the materials needed for the greater Flask. And we're going to need alchemists to be extremely selfless in order to maintain a steady flow, because with 30 people showing up to a raid, we need 30 flasks per hour. That's already 90 flasks. Then across 3 days, that's 270 flasks. And just the maths to make this is going to be just crazy expensive, yeah, on the auction house, but with your guys' help, it can help drive the cost a little bit lower. Just work hard to help out with that. And on top of that, we have these events that are coming up. If you have any ideas or suggestions for future events, please let us know. We're more than willing to change things up, so it's not always the same kind of thing that you're seeing. Remember, not all of them are contests or tournaments or all that stuff. We do have some community events, and we want to make sure that we have something, at least one thing for every month. All right, and with regards to rates, we are probably going to skip over normal modes, and we're gonna just jump right into heroic. As soon as we're done with that, we'll go right into mythic. There are gonna be various different combinations of starting at mythic, heroic, whatever. Moving into Blackrock Foundry when that opens. All right. So if anyone has any questions, we're gonna open it up to you guys right now.
I will chime in just real quickly. Is like with everything that's been said, like we're here for each other. The hierarchy between the guild leader, the officers, and everyone else is so that we just simply have the opportunity to better assert ourselves for the rest of the guild. So if there's anything that comes up, anything you feel comfortable bringing to us or to any member that can bring it to us, to our attention, like we're here for you guys, you're here for us, we're all here for each other, sort of kumbaya type stuff. If you're not into that kumbaya, then whatever it is you want to call it, but the case may be we're in this guild. So as Mike pointed out, if there's anything at all, do not hesitate. We can add, we can augment, we can take out, whatever the case may be. If it's constructive towards the guild, that's the key thing in all this, for the guild, for Salvation.
What's one question?
Go for it.
Like with the primal spirits that we're all picking up, I don't really see anything that I can really use them on. I mean, I suppose I could blow them on the alchemy thing, but there's I hear that you need savage blood to make epic gear with. Should I be spending them on that instead and then dropping those in the guild bank, or just use them on alchemy stuff? Because I don't really see myself.
The alchemy items come a lot more frequently than those bloods, and right now,
yeah,
I would say that right now the bloods hold a higher value than the catalysts themselves. I would say for now.
I mean, I've got 39 of the catalysts. I mean, I haven't really been working my alchemy building yet because I'm still leveling up the follower to put on it. I've been hitting my daily cooldown when I've had the Frostweed, which I will do now because I stopped being lazy. Just wanted to know what I should be doing with the things because I've got 135 primal spirits sitting in my bag.
Alright, yeah. I would say for now, go ahead with the bloods. I know some people are still even leveling the professions, let alone being able to utilize that item to build stronger profession items. But for right now, the catalysts, we still need catalysts as well, like the mats represent.
Yeah, they're expensive as shit.
But we have a larger number of people having access to creating those catalysts than we do people actually getting those bloods. So I would say for your answer, just go ahead and make those. You can get the bloods. That's fine.
Okay.
So
as soon as I can figure out where the vendor is.
What's up, Phil?
My question is, what are we thinking in terms of our first raid? What dates?
Oh, there she is.
Jose should have actually covered all this, but it's gonna be next week Tuesday. Next week Tuesday at 6:15. We're gonna be starting it. It's gonna go up on the calendar. We're just tweaking who's going on what character in some cases, and it should be up there. I don't want it to be a gigantic list like the last Mythic Raid ones were, but it should be decently big enough. And just keep in mind, once again, guys, that we can fit 30 people. So just show up 6:15 to 9:15 Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, and you'll most likely get into the group unless we're doing Mythic mode, and then I have to, have some people stand out to the side. But we are going to be starting December 2nd once these raids actually open. That earlier that day, if you feel like you want to, I don't believe Raid Finder opens up that day. I think it's the week after. But if it does, you can feel free to do it. But I don't think it does. Normal mode, feel free to run normal mode. We're not going to be doing those on Wednesdays like we did last expansion. And even heroic mode, if you feel that you must send yourself in heroic mode with some other groups and all that before our guild run, you can actually do that. Just make sure that you show up to our guild run as well to help us out with all that gear that you've been getting. Okay, it is not. It's not. You're not locked out on a boss basis. Okay, it's just the loot is locked out. So you kill the first boss with someone else and you get loot. You come with us, you won't be eligible for loot. That is just like that.
Is that for all raids? Is that?
That's for the first ones. Raid Finder, normal, heroic. Mythic is not like that. Mythic remains like how it was before. You kill one boss in Mythic, even if it's with another group, you can't join our group. You need to kill it. You need to kill it with us.
What's the minimum eye level right now? Do you know?
There's no minimum item level to queue up or to join us to walk in the raid. We just want to make sure that you have decent gear. You know, if we see that we are unable to defeat an encounter because your gear is so far behind, we'll ask that you just step out, and all the mobs' health will go down, the damage output will go down, mechanics, all that stuff. So that's basically how we're gonna handle that. But other than that, we're gonna try and include as many people as possible. Just make sure that you have all the gear that you can get, guys. All right. Dungeon gear drops 630 blues. I'm not in full 630 blues right now, but there are a whole bunch of us that are. Okay, so that's what you want to do. Run these dungeons. You have a week. Run them. Get that gear. Let's be prepared.
And if you can manage it, the daily challenge mode gives a random 640 piece as well.
Oh, there you go. And also the legendary ring, guys. You guys should have the item level 680 version by then. It just requires you to run 5 heroics in a specific order, and you can get your item level 680 epic ring.
You need 5,000 Apexis crystals as well. Also, another thing to note on the challenge modes, you do not have to finish in bronze, silver, or gold for the daily quest. You just need to finish it.
Which can be easier said than done, but it's still better than having to do it on the time attack.
Alright, do we have any other questions?
Molten Core 2, get your free 640 helm.
Yes, do that.
Weapon enchant, pet, another pet, toy, all the likes. The queue is rather lengthy during certain times, but they've fixed it a little bit. But free gear's free gear.
I don't see the Molten Core LFR raid finder.
You need to have the correct item levels to go in.
I see the other ones that are 615 that are grayed out,
he's right.
but
it looks like you got.
I actually don't see it in there.
Because we're in. Are you in the raid?
The other raid finders aren't actually available yet. That's not anything to do with item level.
The thing
Molten Core won't show if you don't have the item level for it, I don't think.
The thing about special event queues like Molten Core or Headless Horseman, if you don't have the item level, it won't show up in the queuing list.
Okay, alright, cool.
Bay, go ahead and type your question out.
It wasn't Dave that was talking, it was me actually.
No, I didn't hear you talk. I was responding
Bay
to her.
was typing in raid.
Okay. I'll let him go first then.
She.
Her.
Sorry, I apologize.
Do we just go with they instead of putting a gender?
She wants to know about flex or normal modes for those people who are maybe not going to be doing heroic or mythic. When are we doing those?
As of right now, we don't have plans for those. It was pretty rough on a lot of us, especially those that had to lead this casual night, because then that means that we're raiding 4 nights a week, and it really kind of locked us out of doing any kind of other social things that we want to do in our lives. For those that are casual, there is a group finder option. It won't be with the guild, but you can try and include as many guildies as you'd like to go with you, and that is the lockout is based off of the leader. Okay, so let's say you go with a group and you kill 4 bosses, and you want to do the next a later day. You can make your own group in the group finder, and it'll start at the boss that you left off at, and just mention that in the group finder in the text, and then there will be plenty of other people, I'm sure, that will like to join you on that specific boss, and you just bring them in. You can use this mumble, it's all good. But like I said, no plans. We'll see how this plays out. If we see that there is a a need or an audience for it, then maybe we consider it. But as of right now, it's not something that we're thinking about doing.
And certainly, if there are other people who may want to step up and help lead something like that, it might be more considerable too, I would imagine. But yeah, Mike is definitely correct in the fact that those of us who raid 3 nights a week and then had an additional 4th night a week, it got pretty rough. So I think some of us who did do that would prefer at this point in time not to have to lead those.
And it leaves that night open for more events. So we can have events not just on, it's not always on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or something like that. We throw it up on Wednesdays and not have to worry about flex or cutting off flex or having flex end early and all that. Or, I'm sorry, it used to be flex, now it's called normal. Because the first 3 tiers of dungeon difficulty or raid difficulty are flexible. Raid Finder, normal, and heroic. Alright. Any other questions?
Yes.
Yes.
Rylus, what is to stop us right now from getting a guild achievement and downing a world boss with the amount of people that are on?
None of them are active at this moment. 2 of them only activate once Highmall opens up on December 2nd, and the 3rd doesn't activate until Blackrock Foundry opens up.
Oh, so none of the world bosses are up.
But there's a wolf that's probably up.
Yep.
That's gonna be a crap fest. I really don't want to bang my head in the wall, but I'll give it a shot. Only the problem is that only one person's gonna walk out with it.
I was farming it last night with like 15 people who weren't very geared. It's not that hard, guys. It's like you respawn every 15 minutes. You get a couple of them.
Also, if you actually CC some of his little guys next to him, it makes it a lot easier than those idiots who don't.
What are you talking about?
Guy hits like a truck, though.
Not if you CC.
If you CC, have all pets on taunt, and use Army of the Dead, you'll be fine.
Alright, guys, so let's
It's really
go ahead.
World bosses, when they're out, are we going to try to do them like regularly?
Sure. I mean, I think it would be fairly easy to do because once I think the world bosses are out with the group finder, it's sort of similar. It's very similar to OQ. It's a very powerful tool. You just look in there. There'll most definitely be world boss groups, and you join it, and it will most definitely, especially because the beginning of the expansion, fill up very quickly. Just join them, zerg the boss, get some loot, and be awesome. Once again, if we see that there's an audience for us having to do it, as a guild group, then we'll do it like that. But other than that, we're just gonna let people do it. Hopefully, be responsible, be a team player. You get that gear for the raid team, and make sure that you're better. Just there's no raid content out right now. Just set aside 2-3 hours of your time. Get into that molten core. Get that helmet, and it's just. It's going to be easier as time goes on. More people will have gear, especially once the raid finders open up. More people will have gear, more people have knowledge, and it just open all the way until January.
The reason why I said that was wondering if you have a lot of people, like, not people wanting to fight the world boss, but if we could do it as a guild every now and then, just to show other guilds that we can do it. Without having to find raids and stuff. Just one of those, yeah, we can do it.
I think when we're doing thick raids, we don't really need to show off that much, do we?
It's a world boss. Not much to show off when you can plug it together.
Especially with Celestials, if you guys don't remember, that was really not that hard to accomplish with random people.
I'm just looking for more guild achievements.
It always looked awesome when Warcrafteers could do it with half the people.
Well, we did too, but...
Well, yeah, but when it first came out, it just looked awesome. That's what you want, kind of thing.
Whoa, guys, stop leaving the raid. Stop leaving the raid. We have photos and shit to do.
As someone from Warcraft here, I can tell you we certainly never picked up any initiates because they saw us killing Celestials. So, I mean, there's no real hubbub about it, not on the Alliance side. In fact, we weren't even an afterthought. That's just kind of the server that we're on. Maybe Sisters of Loon might have brought something different to that, but on this server it just doesn't mean much.
generally when you got people that are online, and like for me, for instance, I'll just hop on and be like, hey, I gotta do my world boss. I'll just load up a group and ask, hey, who wants to come in? Like, it's kind of an impromptu thing, really. I mean, there's already variability with the raid times of people being on time, so we can't really hold yet another day or varying days. So you see how the structure just kind of, there's too many individuals to micromanage in order to promote that. It's a good idea, it's good intentions, but the reality of it actually coming to fruition is very low or moderately low.
I love your military talk, Richard. Do it some more.
Military talk. The fuck. But anyways, it's something that's definitely seen. Like I always had that general mindset when it comes to like, hey, going in as a guild, like fucking let's go in and load up the troops and zerg it. And, like that's a mindset I've had ever since I started playing like any sort of online role playing games. So it's good. It's a good notion, but if the people aren't on, the people aren't on. Generally, those board bosses are really quick pick-me-ups to the actual, LFR, normal, heroic, and mythic. I almost said flex and heroic, but yeah, it's a good idea, but I don't think it generally can happen as often as you'd think. So right now, before people start getting more tired and anxious, let's go and take our guild photo.